Okay, for the recording, welcome back. We are the TongLen group. This is November 23rd, 2025. Mm. On Thursday is United States Thanksgiving, the day you're supposed to eat so much you can't do anything else. However, if we skip this class, then we can't really get it finished properly in in good time before the Kyoto teachings. So since Mike and I are the only Thanksgiving partaker ofers, sorry, Mike, I'm having class. So join us if you want, or thank goodness for the recordings. So we'll have class on Thursday, regardless of Thanksgiving. And then also, I just made my what I hope will be the schedule for 2026 for the this time slot and the morning time slot and the other things that I do. So I've sent it to ACI, they'll have it. But I'll also put it as an attachment with the link for the recording of this class. So you can have a look at it if you like. 2026. Do you remember your junior year in high school or college? It was like the most intense for me. Hardest classes, hardest emotional upset, hardest issues. 2026 ACI, I predict, will be like our junior class. Challenging classes, hard classes, lots of classes. So I hope it doesn't scare you off, but we're going to try to pull off 11 through 13 and the 6 flavors of emptiness practice module all next year. So as usual, you need to let me know that you want to do it, right? Because it needs to be requested. So just stay tuned. All right, so let's gather our minds here as we usually do. Please bring your attention to your breath until you hear from me again. We'll do our opening prayers and then go into our meditation, which will be a TongLen, very different than what we've been doing, another version of TongLen. So let's gather our minds here as we usually do. Now bring to mind that being who for you is a manifestation of ultimate love, ultimate compassion, ultimate wisdom. And there they are with you, gazing at you with their unconditional love for you, smiling at you with their holy great compassion. Their wisdom radiates from them, that beautiful golden glow encompassing you in its light. And then we hear them say, bring to mind someone you know who's hurting in some way. Feel how much you would like to be able to help them. Recognize that the worldly ways we try fall short. How wonderful it will be when we can also help them in some deep and ultimate way, a way through which they will go on to stop their distress forever. Deep down, we know this is possible. Learning about karma and emptiness, we glimpse how it's possible. And so I invite you to grow that wish into a longing. That longing into an intention. And with that strong intention, turn your mind back to your precious holy being. We know that they know what we need to know, what we need to learn yet, what we need to do yet to become one who can help this other in this deep and ultimate way. And so we ask them, please teach me that. Show me that. Help me become that. And they are so happy that we've asked. Of course, they agree. Our gratitude arises. We want to offer them something exquisite. And so we think of the perfect world they are teaching us how to create. We imagine we can hold it in our hands, and we offer it to them, following it with our promise to practice what they teach us, using our refuge prayer to make our promise. Here is the great earth, filled with fragrant incense and covered with a blanket of flowers. The great mountain, 4 lands, wearing the jewel of the sun and the moon. In my mind, I make them the paradise of a Buddha and offer it all to you. By this deed, may every living being experience the pure world. Idam Guru Ratnam Mandala Kam Niryatayami. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community. Through the merit that I do in sharing this class and the rest, may we reach Buddhahood for the sake of every living being. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community. Through the merit that I do in sharing this class and the rest, may we all realize our Buddhahood for the sake of every living being. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the highest community. Through the merit that I do in sharing this class and the rest, may all beings totally awaken for the benefit of every single other. And so set your body for a meditation. And bring your attention to your breath. Use 10 breaths to fine-tune your focus, your clarity, your intensity. Or shift your focus to thinking of our refuge in bodhicitta, the protection that comes when our love is so big that we refuse to be unkind no matter what. Feel how that would be. Protection from making the seeds that would bring about more suffering. Then recall that precious holy being, your own personal guide there before you. Think of their bodhicitta, their big love that made them come to you when you thought of them. Feel how wonderful that would be to love so much that when someone needs you, there you are for them. And so feel your aspiration to become like this holy being. Make them an offering. Offer your efforts to be kind to others, to love others just a little bit more each time. Confess to them the times when we couldn't love like that, when maybe we actually disliked someone or was unkind to someone. Recognize and admit to them how stupid that was. We're all just gonna die. And all that will be left is the mental seeds we made through our interactions with others. Why would I ever be unkind if I deeply understood that? Decide on an antidote to those unkindnesses. It could be this meditation. And then decide upon a power of restraint, something you know you can achieve. And then rejoice in the fact that we have heard about TongLen practice. Rejoice in the fact that we have interest in trying it and that we have the circumstances to be able to do so. It's a great, great goodness. And ask that holy being before you to bless you. Ask them to channel the blessings from all the great lamas into you. All the beings who have achieved bodhicitta, both kinds. Ask for the blessings that will help you help others. And pray that the teachings and those who teach them stay in this world and spread to places where the teachings have yet to reach. And check your body to see if it needs to shift and reposition. And return to your breath. Adjust focus, adjust clarity, adjust the intensity. Then shift that focus, that clarity, that intensity onto my words, following the imagery, allowing it to arise in your own mind. So imagine before you is a huge, barren plain that stretches to the horizons. It's burning hot in a hot summer sunshine. You are not in it. You are aware of it. And as you focus in closer on this vast barren plain, you see that its ground is actually made of iron. And you see that that iron is getting hotter and hotter in that noon sun. It's even getting red hot, glowing in its heat. And as you gaze upon it, watching it, you see small bursts of flames shooting up here and there, randomly. Each one catches your attention. And then more and more of them are popping up. Until there's more flames coming and going than bare, red hot iron. And then you become aware of crowds of naked people running across this flaming red hot iron, somehow forced to run. They're screaming, they're pushing against each other. Their feet and legs are burning. They're compelled to run. They get no relief. Many, many beings. It's so horrible to witness. And you find yourself flying above them, your arms and legs spread wide. And your compassion becomes this huge cloud, blocking the sunshine from this entire plane. And you, the cloud, begins to rain, cooling, gentle rain, down on all of the people on the plane, putting out the fire, cooling the heat, soothing their wounds. Your rain calms them. They stop running. Watch as the ground grows cool, green, soft grass. You turn your body of compassion into silken clothing and flutter that clothing down upon these people so that each one of this massive crowd has their own silken robe. Your compassion now turns into a huge, beautiful pavilion, protecting everyone from the sun. They are all sitting on this cool grass together underneath this pavilion. They're so happy. Now you come down and sit upon the grass in the middle of this massive crowd. And you see them circling around you. They're so grateful. And you are teaching them TongLen so that they can be happy forever. Now do an act of truth. If it is true that I had some small feeling that I could really do this sometime in the future, then may it come true. And I swear by this truth of what we just did, that I will someday be able to actually do it. Then turn your mind to that precious holy being before you. Feel your gratitude for them inspiring you, bringing you this session. Dedicate or act of truth to seeing all beings reach their ultimate happiness by way of their own love and compassion and wisdom. And then bring to your awareness yourself in this body in your room, in class. And when you're ready, open your eyes, take a stretch. So that's a very different version of TongLen, isn't it? But the components are still there in the sense of taking away suffering and giving happiness, right? We took away hell beings suffering by being the cloud and then the rain and then the grass and then the silken clothing and then the teacher and then the what we taught them. Sweet. So this class and the next, I think, we want to talk further about how TongLen works and how it doesn't work. And we all know the punchline already. I gave it away in the first class, I think, right? Doing TongLen doesn't work. What works is the seeds planted by doing the TongLen. And that's what works. That's why it works, which means it doesn't work in the moment you're doing it. but then neither does anything else. So Geshe-la took us through this, logic, not in terms of the syllogism, but in the way we tend to think about things, to point out again and again how our ignorance shows up as we're trying to explain to ourselves why to do TongLen and what the results will be. Right? We can't help but impose our ignorance on that. And so the more we go through it, the more we remove that aspect of our thinking, so that when we TongLen, it can be done in a more informed or more wise way. So seems to me, for us to get into this discussion, we should start with our familiar, the pen. And I know we all know it so well that we tend to think, the pen again. But let's do it. You guys teach me. How's that? So everybody unmute and somebody hold up a pen and start us off. Right? I really mean it. Everybody unmute. I still see 4 people muted. There we go.
What is this?
Hold it up there.
It's a pen.
It looks like a pen, but I'm not actually sure. Can you prove to me that's a pen?
Okay, this is pen. If dog coming in my room and I like just a little bit give him them, and what dog will do this pen, this thing?
Speak up, anybody.
Bite.
Yes. And uh, does the dog see this as pen?
No.
I say yes.
Yes. If yes, okay, dog can write any letter to any different dog, maybe.
No, I didn't say that, because I can pick up that object and stick it in my mouth too, and it doesn't make me write with it. And it's still a pen, isn't it?
Okay.
If it really is a pen, which I'm not convinced yet because I haven't seen it work. It's just a yellow stick for me.
Okay, for you, maybe it's just yellow stick, but you can write something by this stick.
If it's a pen.
Yes, this is pen for you, but dog cannot do it. Dog can just chew. To
Why can't a dog write with it?
Good question, but I never saw it before. What dog can
Well, I
write
didn't
it?
either, but I haven't seen every single dog with every single pen.
Okay, but let's go maybe next ocean. If we put this thing, yellow stick, on the desk and I go away, dog go away, what this is thing will be?
It's a pen because that's what you left there.
Okay, but I already not here. I don't perceive this yellow stick, and
So,
nobody in room, no dog, no people, no one in room. What is this?
so are you saying if there's nobody in the room, there's
Yes,
no pen there?
I didn't say it. I just
There's
ask
somebody.
you, what is this?
I'm saying when you leave a pen on the table and walk away, the pen is still there.
In your memories, maybe, but actually, it will be pen if nobody can see it.
Why not? I saw it before and we put it there and then we turned around and nobody's taken it away and the world hasn't blown up. How come it was a pen before and now you're saying it's not a pen just because I've turned my back on it?
Okay. If you turn back, maybe, but now nobody in the room.
So are you saying when I turn my back on you, Marina, you will disappear?
No, uh, for right now, I exactly about this moment, but nobody in room, like this way. If for dog, this is something what dog can just play with this yellow stick.
Mhm.
For
Yeah,
me, I can something write down, but
right.
when everyone go away and nobody in the room, what is this will be?
If it started out being a pen, it is still a pen.
Okay,
Or
in
you
your
gotta
memory,
convince
yes.
me. Convince me, convince me. Right? Our own mind should be doing this.
Okay, yes, in your mind, yes, sure, you will be keep this thing in your mind and will still like keep but maybe you can get back and pen can disappear.
So you're saying I can make a pen appear out of thin air just by walking in the room that a pen is in.
I don't know how it will be, maybe just, but okay. But if nobody in room, it will be pen for you anyway.
Right.
So, okay, let's go on this point. If this is pen for a you and for dog, how you say, and you cannot like say like, okay, every dog you didn't see every dog and don't know, maybe any dog can write down something by this thing. Okay, but please take any dog and please teach them to write down any letter by this thing.
Well, I can't teach them to write a letter because they don't know how to write letters, but I can teach them how to write with a pen. But all they'll be able to do is make dog
Okay,
things
you
with it.
already say but may not able to do it. So
Well,
this is not pen for them.
but my baby brother couldn't write the alphabet either.
Yes, I am. It's true. Maybe for right now, they cannot do it, but you can teach them, you can show, you can do something what when after when K can write any letter and any alphabet, it's okay. But this is not the same for dog, right?
Right, because dogs are different. But that
Yes.
doesn't make the pen any different. The pen's not the dog.
Yes, pen on dog, it's true. But anyway, okay. So let's think about this. So dog not able to write down something by this yellow stick,
Okay.
right? Right. Okay. Any human in 30 like can do it, and child can after does study to do it and can able to write down any letters. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question for you. Uh, so if I perceive and you perceive and any human is here can perceive this is like a yellow stick as pen, dog cannot write down any letters, and for them it just may be any yellow stick for play. Yes.
Yeah. So,
So this is thing coming from its own side or from my or your side. This way or this way.
say that again.
Okay.
The whole, not just the this way or that way.
This
Start the logic.
yellow. Okay. Just from the beginning, from if I perceive this is as pen and can write down any letter, so dog cannot perceive this is the same way. Dog can just take it, maybe just show it or play with these things. So these things coming from my side or from this its side, like own side.
So explain to me why that if I can see it and use it as a pen, but the dog can't, that must mean that the writability of the pen cannot be in it. That's
But
not clear to me. Just because a dog can't write with it doesn't mean the pen
but
isn't a writing instrument.
yes, this is not writing instrument for dog. You already agreed with this.
Right. That doesn't mean it's not a writing instrument for me.
For you and for me, this is writing instrument, yes. But for dog, for example, you already agreed that what not. It is not writing instrument.
Right. But
Yeah.
I don't understand the ramification of that. Explain to me the ramification of that. Right.
Okay. You try.
If, if, if the object's identity is pen in it from it, and what pens do is write, then what?
Okay. But yes, please, Mike, because I wouldn't be repeat the same story.
You're doing great, Marina. You're doing great.
I'm not sure.
Help her out.
Okay.
Right. I'm insisting that that object is a pen and that the dog chews on a pen. What's the big deal about that? They chew on sticks, they chew on dog food, they chew on all kinds of things. Right.
Yeah.
But my mind is still insisting that that object is a pen, and it's declaring it establishes itself as a pen. My mind is seeing it and holding it in that way. So, we understand the punchline, but explain to me how it's not possible for the pen to establish itself as a pen and me experience it one way and the dog experience the other way. That's what I'm trying to get at. An if then statement.
If it was a pen from its own side, then it could never run out of ink because it would always have to function as a pen.
Right. If
And
it
this
was a
is
pen from
already,
its own side, it'd be writing right now, wouldn't it?
yes, but okay.
But it's not, Sarani. So it can't be a pen in it like you think it is.
Okay, I just thought we should first ask and after already go to this, but I like take this way.
Right? You wouldn't do it like this for someone new and you've only got 5 minutes to do the pen thing. But, if we want to dig in deeper and find our own limit, right? Where we go, yeah, I understand, but that jerk yelling at me, right? The mind is still saying the dog chews on a pen, even though he just chews on it, right? Anytime we blame anything or anybody for anything, we are believing there's something in the pen that makes it pen. So that's why we're going through this.
Thank you for teaching.
Do you
It
see?
was, yes.
So now let's take it a step further because after we say, what if we leave it there and nobody sees it? What's it there? Right? And we're trained, our Pavlov dog is trained to say, oh, we don't know. Yeah. And then somebody comes in the room. Who do you want to come in the room first? I say a fly. What's there for the fly?
Landing strip,
Yeah. What's there for the dog? Chew toy.
cheap toy.
What's there for the human? Pen.
Yeah,
What if they all come in all at the same time? Exactly. What's
no
there then?
problem. The same thing for each
Everything
person's perception
exactly the same thing for each being's perfect perception. Wait, how can one thing be three things at once?
because it's not coming from its own side. It's dependent on the perceiver's seeds.
Right. So one thing can be five things. Mhm. No, only if there's five beings perceiving it. So one thing can be trillion things. Yeah, if trillion beings are perceiving it. See? So then, well, wait a minute. What makes me see it as pen and dogs see it as chew toy? Why? And again, our Pavlov reaction is, oh, my seeds. But come on, can you get there logically? Help
Yeah.
me get there logically. Why can we say your yellow stick is pen?
We have some mental imprints of how we interacted with others, what we thought, what we spoke, and what we did to others. And those mental imprints, some ineffable energy, which like is ripening in our mind, and the chocolate sauce covers some object of perception, and then we are forced to perceive it the way that our mental seeds are forced us to perceive it.
Why?
Mm. Because nothing has any nature of its own, as we proved it already, and
Mhm.
everything is interdependent of the perceiver, as we proved it already it means that interaction of subject object and interaction of it based on should be based on something on some experience which determines the current moment.
So how come the dog's current moment experience can't impress upon me the same thing?
Because dog has its own mental stream of those mental seeds, of those energy which forced him to perceive this object that way, and this perception exactly defines the subject, the holder of the object, because the subject perceived it as a pen, it defines it as a dog. And human being yes, perceives it as a writing. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, dog Chutoy and human perceives it as a writing instrument, and it defines him as a human being.
So you just said the pen makes me human.
Mm. It defines you a human. Yes.
So I wasn't human until I saw the pen.
Maybe some other interactions could define you as human as well.
Oh, so some can, but some can't?
No, all of them will define you, will define your kind of being, the way that it is perceived by you.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you're saying because I've seen myself know pens before, I will perceive myself knowing that object as a pen. Do I have that right?
If you have mental seeds for perceiving that object as a pen,
Which come from mental seeds of having perceived that objects like that as a pen before.
You need to collect some similar experience. If this object brings you experience of writing something, like to collect some information, it means before you did something similar to others, you helped them to exchange or collect some kind of information. Then it will create some mental imprint to perceive that object in that way if you gave it to others before.
Well said. So you're not saying that a pen begets a pen, begets a pen, begets a pen, because otherwise, right? There would always be pens, always will have been pens, and they would all be like pens. But I've never seen two pens the same. Have I? Even this one is different every time I perceive it, right? So I've come over to your side. You've taught me all this. Wow, both of you guys, all of you guys. So there's still a couple of words I want to hear come out of our mouths in the answer of how do we get from, oh, everything is coming this way. How do we get to that being the answer to everything from what's there on the table when we go away? Like Claire's explanation was correct, but I'm going for two common worldly reasons for things happening. Two words. Play charades. I'm not good at charades.
If
I can't do it.
maybe if there is no perceiver in a room, we can't claim what this object is,
Right?
because it's just some potential.
Right?
Uh, mm, it depends on the perceiver. We can define this object, but without the perceiver, we can't tell exactly what it is over there. For each
Right.
perceiver, it will be something different.
Right. And so the experience of the perceiver. All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Our experiences are results. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, that is ripening result of
Ripening
our
result.
past it. Yes.
And every ripening result has to have a cause that came before and was similar and technically goes away when the result comes into being.
Yes.
Right? So the ramification of, oh, that object from the mind of the perceiver, the identity of that object comes into being. And we're trying to prove how we come to the conclusion that that has to be because of some way we interacted with another before. The way we can get there is by recognizing, whoa, that was a result, right? Every experience we have is a result of something. Is that all yet? Do we agree with that? And does every result have to have a cause? And the cause and the result can't arise at the same time, can they? No. But the cause had to already be in there. And the cause has to be somehow similar. So if we're saying that this as a pen is my experience is a result. Who has to make the cause for my result?
Only you.
Only me, right? Me being the subject side of any interaction, as Claire pointed out. So no matter what I'm experiencing in the moment that appears to be happening to me, right, can only be this result of some way in which this subject side created that for itself. Right? So this subject side created this to be a pen. Dog's subject side created this to be their chew toy. Fly subject side, right? It cause and effect is the underlying way that we prove to ourselves that what I thought, said, and did before made the imprint in my mind that now has come out and made this experience as the result. How else can an experience come about? Do they come out of the blue? Do they come from something unrelated? Can somebody else's cause bring me the result? We go, no, but we blame others all the time. That drunk driver, they drove into me. That jerk. We don't say, oh man, my seeds ripened the drunk driver driving into me. Right? We blame the drunk driver as if they are both the cause and the result. So, to work out what we really mean by the imprint, right? Anyone have a pen? I do. Here, bing, right? And then I need pens. Woohoo, right? More pens that I know what to do with, because those seeds are being added to and detracted from, right? They grow into more than what we just saw ourselves do. But it's cause and effect. Worldly cause and effect? No. Worldly cause and effect is, I know it's a pen because my mother taught it was a pen, right? And I've used pens and they've always worked. And sometimes I'm wrong, but most of the time I'm right. And when this one runs out of ink, I'll go buy another one. Right? Old worldview believes all that. New worldview. I don't need to do that. I just need to give pens away. But wait, if I give all my pens away, when I need a pen, I'm not going to have any. But isn't giving my pens away the ramification of if this is true, right? Everything I have, I should give away. But wait, I need pens for class. So what's happening in that case?
There was a point where like you were uncertain about giving resources to someone, and now you're confused over whether you should give the pen away or use it for yourself.
Very nice. Very nice. And could there really ever be a time period then, theoretically, where you've given all your pens away and then you need something to write with that you could be without it? Yeah,
No.
technically not, right? Even if there's no pen within 20 feet of you and you needed to write something down, some miracle would happen and somebody would stick something in your hand, right? All right, theoretically, if we've really given, and this is our mode, right? Is share, 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 share. It's coming back at us so fast that we would reach a place where no matter how fast you share, there would be more to share. And it won't always be pens for pens, as Claire described. It might be writing opportunities or communicative opportunities, right? That look like this now, but there'll be someday when, we don't use these things at all. I don't know what it'll be like because, we didn't know this 200 years ago, right? They were writing with some kind of thing they pressed into clay 1,000 years ago. So it's gonna think our cause and effect relationships do shift, but they're basic, what would we say, basic qualities and characteristics can't shift in the sense that you can't see yourself doing something unkind and not as a result experience something that you experience as unkind. Right? The first law of karma. Karma is definite. It's not a law. It's an explanation of this cause and effect as Claire described. Right? The ramification of everything we experience as a result of something we've perceived ourselves doing towards an other. One ramification is any kindness has to come back as pleasant. Any unkindness has to come back as unpleasant. Do you see why? Because of the imprint. That's the only place unkindness comes from, is the result of some past unkindness. And there's all those ramifications. Well, what if I intended to be kind and it came out unkind, right? From their side. What if I intended to be unkind and it came out kind? Like, because there's our side and there's their side happening at the same time. You had something, Claire?
Yeah, I had exactly this question. If we think that we are doing some kindness, but it hurts other person as they perceive it, what kind of seeds does it plant?
Right. So think through what's going on. We are doing the kindness. We're planting our seeds. We are having the experience of doing the kindness. That is a ripening result. But we are doing something towards an other. We are recording that. We are planting seeds. How we see them respond, right? How we see our effect upon them, that's results. That's our results. Can what we did right now ripen into the result in the next moment? No, it takes time. So whatever we see, what we've just done affecting them, what we're perceiving is a reflection of how we have reacted to somebody else's action towards us in the past. Have we ever reacted badly to somebody who was trying to be kind in some way? Probably. If I can experience that, then not probably, absolutely. Whether I can remember doing it or not. Because we don't really know the intention of the other person when they do stuff. But we do know, what I think is kindness and what I think is not kindness. We can kind of say, I think all humans would agree somebody trying to kill me is unpleasant. Right? Somebody trying to protect my life, but in the end, right, they can't hang on long enough and I fall anyway. Right? They got the goodness of trying and their experience that they couldn't and I fall and I get hurt, right? They also have that ripening result. But their effort to try is what they get planted. My seeds ripening to see myself try to help, but I can't, and they fall. It's like, shoot, right? It doesn't negate the goodness of trying. It reflects the fact that in the past, right, kindness, but unkindness seem to be the result, but they can't be. Right? So a situation like that, we're being kind and they just stay nasty, would be, gosh, I want to be really, really more careful in my response to other people, because maybe even the ones that seem to be being nasty, so I'm nasty back, maybe in their minds, they're actually trying to be kind. Because maybe their usual nastiness is 10 times worse. And they're being really nice by being only this nasty. Do you see? We don't know. So, like, what we perceive ourselves thinking, doing, saying is how we plant, how we make the causes. Whatever we are experiencing is results. Whatever we see the other person seem to experience as a result of us is also our result. And whatever they're experiencing is their result. We can't affect their result, but we use their result to interact with them further, right? They get angrier. Okay, I tried to be kind. I'm out of here, right? Or we try again. I'm so sorry I upset you. How can I help you? They get madder, right? Maybe try 3 times. And then say, thank you. I just burned off a lot of my unreasonableness. Time out. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Right? So we can stop it. So I yacked right through our break time. Let's take a break. Okay, are we back? So thank you for helping me understand the pen better, everyone. You did a good job. And this understanding of cause and effect, or causes and results, meaning karma and its consequences, instead of worldly causes and results. Or let's say underneath worldly causes and results is the world view that is unique to Buddhism. And through it, we can explain how and technically why the world exists, why things work in the way that they do, and why they don't work in the way that they don't sometimes, why things happen to us in the way that they do. Like, it will explain everything when we can devolve it back down, deconstruct. Lama Christie uses that word, down to results out of causes, causes that had to be made by this subject side, because no other subject side perceives it the way I perceive it. When we don't understand our Buddhist philosophy at this level, that Buddhist philosophy will help us be more kind. But in the end, it won't really help us get to that place where we are stopping perpetuating the mistake that is the karmic cause of all that suffering that we want to stop. It really takes this deep understanding of the cause and effect at this level, and how that then shows us that each aspect of each of those three spheres of experience cannot have their identities and qualities in them, from them, the way we are forced to perceive them, right? That's the emptiness. So we didn't ever get to the part of the pen thing to point out, and that's the no self nature of the pen, right? Marina, I didn't let you go there. But when we can conclude, yes, I see a pen, and yes, the dog sees chew toy, and that shows me the fact that the object itself cannot be declaring itself with an identity, or both me and the dog would have to see it exactly the same way, experience it exactly the same way, and we don't. So, and that's the no self nature of the object of experience, the pen. And same is true for the subject of the experience, the me, and the interaction between us. So the writing with the pen has its own fact that it has no nature of its own, right? We've done that too. Does the ink ever touch the paper? Like, no. Okay. So as we are wanting to investigate how TongLen works and how it doesn't work, and so why to do it, right? We want to take this discussion that we just had and apply it to this idea of I see suffering in my world. I'm so limited in what I can do, but I'm breathing, so I can always TongLen, and I'll pretend, right, that I can suck their pain and all its seeds into me, and I can pretend that I'll use it to damage my own ignorance and similar seeds to see more. And oh, that'll feel so great. And then I will pretend that I can give them any kind of happiness, worldly or whatever. And it's like, well, it's all pretend. And yes, it's nice. And it might be fun to do it. But come on, it can't really do anything, can it? And it's like, well, wait a minute. Like, we have to do that. What do you mean by can or can't? And what do you mean by do it? What do you mean by help them? What do you mean by take their suffering? If we're thinking by doing TongLen on their broken rib cage, right? I have a friend who's got multiple fractures in the ribs, not just one break, but two, right? So they've got these pieces of rib that are doing this. It's like it takes them so long to heal up because they don't stay put. Anyway, can I just TongLen my friend and expect that tomorrow he'll call up and say, wow, my ribs are healed? And it's like, why not? Why can't I expect that? Give me one reason why I can't expect that my TongLen tonight should ripen as his healed ribs tomorrow. Or let's not even go there. Say I do TongLen at the end of class and I expect him to call me up 10 minutes later. Thank you so much. Right? My ribs are healed. How come? Could that happen? Yes. If it happened, did my TongLen 10 minutes ago cause his healed ribs 10 minutes later? Yeah, careful. You could say yes. Why could I say yes that my TongLen in this moment brought about the result in the next moment?
Because
Okay.
just because I haven't perceived my karma to ripen that quickly doesn't mean that you haven't perfected that method.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would say, because probably I've TongLened before, right? Maybe I've been working on that person's fractured ribs for, oh, maybe 12 weeks. And my final TongLen, right, pushed my seeds over the edge and like, wow, the last one did the job, but it was the accumulation of all of them that would have done it. But then, you're going to catch me and say, well, in 12 weeks, rib cage heal, whether somebody TongLens or not. So you can't say it was your TongLen doing it because they were going to heal anyway. But again, it's like that's what we see worldly, but do we know that for sure while we're in the waiting period for his ribs to heal? Right? If anybody's ribs have healed in 10 weeks, then there's nothing special about 12 weeks. And if anybody's ribs have ever taken 15 weeks, then there's nothing special about 12 weeks. Right? So you can't say, oh, ribs just heal up in 12 weeks, so no need to do anything. Does it really? No, I don't want to say it that way. When I TongLen my friend and their seeds for broken ribs, and I suck them in and I destroy them, am I in fact changing that person's pool of seeds in their own mind? No. No. Well, then why should I bother? Because if I don't change their seeds, how are they going to experience a different result?
You can perceive just your result.
So I
This
do
is your
TongLen
seeds.
so that I change my seeds so I don't see him suffering anymore, but I can't change his seeds. So maybe I don't see him suffering anymore because I don't know, I lose contact and they never call me again and I just never know. Is that what my TongLen's supposed to do? Make it so I lose contact with anybody? Because that would mean my seeds are not ripening, them having pain anymore.
I
Because I
don't
just don't
see
know.
here connection.
Yeah, no. If anything, I want my connection to be stronger, right? More, if I could help them. I lost my train of thought. So if my doing TongLen is only so that I can affect my seeds, so that I can feel better about their pain in their rib cage, is that why I do TongLen? Just to help me feel better? No, because technically that doesn't work either. If we're doing TongLen in the moment and we feel better the next moment, is that a result of the TongLen that we've done in the moment before? No, right? There's not time for that seed that I just planted to ripen into this result. Well, then wait a minute. Why bother to TongLen at all? You tell me. Yes, Claire.
It can trigger other good seeds which were planted before. So, like if we have it like after the moment, those tonglen seed could like trigger those goodness in us to ripen faster.
Yeah. Yeah. So we really can feel better after TongLening because other seeds are ripening, right? Because of the power that our current planting added to them. Nice. So then with that logic, it could be the case where we could do TongLen on somebody, and we hear from them very shortly thereafter that they're feeling better, right? Because we have the seeds of having tried to help give someone some relief of their pain, and those seeds are growing, okay? And they ripen into the experience. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling so much better. Not the TongLen in the moment, but the goodness from protecting life or helping others feel better, whatever it is the seeds are that are ripening, which we technically don't know, right? Until we're omniscient, we can't connect this actual what I did to this experience, but we can use the correlations and we can make these educated assumptions about this behavior and that result and that result and this behavior. And we can use it with enough educated self-interest, as Holiness calls it, to choose our interactions with others in ways that whatever seeds are planted, we know that there'll be a pleasant experience in the future in some similar way, right? And we can like stop trying to create really specific, this fellow I want to fall in love with, he needs to have blue eyes and blonde hair. And if that's what we're trying to create and we bump into the black haired guy, who's a little bit short and pudgy, we don't give ourselves the opportunity to fall in love, and then we just miss out because we had this vision. It has to look just like this, as opposed to, right? Plant the seeds, let them blossom, and then enjoy what blossoms. It can be hard because we know that the more specifically we envision what it is we want to plant, right, the more powerfully we plant. But when we envision clearly, we're envisioning clearly what it is we want to help somebody else get, right? So you help your friend find the blonde so that you can bump into anybody and fall in love with them. And I don't mean just anybody, but they don't have to be what you set up. Do you get it? It's like, yes, we start with a clear picture of what we want so that we can plant seeds sweetly, but then forget the clear picture because it's going to be bigger and better. And if we hold on to the little picture, we're missing out. Same sort of for TongLening, right? We might be saying, oh, my friend, I don't know, they have a head cold. I'll TongLen their head cold. May they never have head colds again. But deeper down, they're not getting along with their spouse, and we don't TongLen, they're not getting along with their spouse. And so although that we help them not get head colds, they're still suffering worse from their spouse. But I'm just making a silly example that don't limit our TongLen either. We take from them some specific suffering that we can see so that we can specifically do some damage. But think of it as, this and all similar seeds. And we give them this happiness and all kinds of wisdom behind it so that our TongLen seeds that we're planting in our mind can grow into bodhicitta. Remember, that's why we're doing TongLen, is to grow our bodhicitta, this one, and the direct perception of emptiness bodhicitta. Okay, so we would want to include that in our TongLening, wouldn't we? It's like, may I take all their current anger and seeds for more, and why not take their misunderstanding the world at the same time and destroy mine? And then as I'm giving them peacefulness and nice dreams at night and their new car, I'm also going to give them the direct perception of emptiness and bodhicitta in their heart. Why not? Right? As we do it, we think, I can't give them that. Right. I can't give them healed ribs either. Technically, I can't even give them a nice dinner, except that their seeds ripen, receiving a nice dinner. So to say, oh, TongLen is just fantasy, so is thinking making them a nice dinner that I feed to them that they enjoy. That's fantasy too. No, that's real. No, it's no more real. Okay, it's seeds ripening projections as real versus seeds ripening projections as fantasy. They're both the same stuff. Seeds ripening mental images, planting seeds in our mind in order to bring every being to loving compassion. Which one's more limiting? Mental seeds of a physical world interaction are more limiting than mental seeds, right, that are mental. We call it imaginary. Call them mental seeds. We've learned mental seeds are powerful seeds because they motivate what we do and say in our physical world that's more limited. So our TongLen practice, we can get the sense that it's actually more effective than anything we can do in our physical world. It does not mean don't help people in physical ways that we can when we can, right? Motivated by our bodhicitta. But even as we're doing that, we can be TongLening. Okay? I can only right now check your blood pressure and, give you more to drink with a little salt in it to help you feel better. But as I'm doing that, I can be taking the seeds for not protecting life that they're ripening by not feeling well and give them some love, compassion, some care. It helps what I'm doing plant more powerful seeds in my own mind. Might they respond even better to the water and salt I give them? Maybe, maybe not, right? Depends on I guess, how much TongLen I've done before to make my TongLen more powerful. But you see, it's because we're dealing with seed planting as we are TongLening, not by what we're doing by TongLening. It's by what we're seed planting by doing TongLening. And it's really an important distinction. Because as we're understanding about seeds better and better, when we say to ourselves, I'm TongLening to plant the seeds in my mind to see this person get better, it will feel more real, more powerful than saying, I'm TongLening to do something for them. It's like, what's the difference? When I know that TongLen doesn't, right? You can't suck somebody's pain out of them because that's their karma. And I can't change their karma. But the seeds that I plant by pretending I can, those are going to grow. They're going to grow into the perception of me able to help them in that deep and ultimate way. Does it grow into me, Buddha, able to take your karma away? No, because we're still in the same subject side plants the seed. And even as Buddha, we don't become somebody else's subject side. Nobody can become your subject side. You cannot become somebody else's subject side. Your subject side is your subject side. It's never the same 2 moments in a row, but it's never not your subject side. That's what subject means. Right? Awareness. So to understand that physical actions don't work in the way we believe they do, and fantasy actions don't work, right? We think they don't work at all, but they don't work in the way we don't think they do. They don't work in the way we think they do, which is why both of them can seem to work. Right? It seems like you put your hand on the doorknob, turn it, pull, and the door opens. It seems like do TongLen on somebody and they don't feel better right away. It's actually showing us the same process. What we do in the moment doesn't bring what comes next. What we did in the past is ripening as our current experience. How we respond to the current experience plants seeds in our mind for future current experience. When we understand that, and we see any kind of distress in the world, what would we want to do? Right? To see distress is a ripening result, my karma. the seeds I can plant is to, at maybe least, would be to wish that I could stop it. And maybe that's even actually like the highest thought to have, right? We can look at somebody and, oh, they're limping, their back must hurt. I'm sorry about that. Or we can say, oh, they're limping, their back must hurt. Gosh, I wish I could do something. Or we could say, their back must hurt. I'm going to go say hello. Can I help you? Can I give you some Tylenol? They're probably going to say no thanks. Or I can TongLen. And like, doesn't TongLen seem like we're not doing anything? But we heard earlier that to TongLen someone is a more powerful way to help them than any worldly thing we could try to do. Because the reason we TongLen is that we recognize, oh my gosh, these are my seeds ripening. I want to do something to plant seeds intentionally so that I can stop the perpetuation of the suffering in my world. And I'm going to use the pain I see in them as an opportunity to suck it out of the world, use it to burn off my own ignorance that caused it in the first place, and give them any happiness from any goodness I've ever done before. I'm going to see myself pouring that onto them, all done in my mind and on my breath, because it's going to have this subtle effect in our subtle body as well. So to TongLen someone that we see in distress means at some level we are understanding emptiness and dependent origination enough to want to act in a circumstance in which there's just nothing else we can really do. We can always TongLen. And if we can act in some way worldly, of course, do so. All right, let's see how we did here. Geshe-la had gone into why is it true that we cannot take anybody's karma away? And I know we've talked about that already. But is that the logic is, how do we know here? So it goes like this. How do we know that nobody can take my karma? Right? We know it because I still have pain. But why is that, like, that's the proof that nobody can take my karma?
Because if so, Buddha already take out all our suffering.
Why?
Because
what is it about Buddha?
Buddha have great compassion, and he wants to help every living being, and he don't like what we have suffering, and definitely he wants to take out all suffering of all living being.
Yeah, so if he could have, he would have, right? Does that leave us a little less enamored in Buddha and becoming Buddha? I want to stop all the suffering in the world. I'm going to become a Buddha and I still won't be able to do it.
Buddha can
Is that
help
true?
us through teaching. No, we should
Right.
do it and help different way.
Exactly. Exactly. How does a Buddha help? By teaching, right? Formal teachings. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm not saying I'm Buddha, but Buddhas will teach formally, but they also teach by example, showing by example. But wait, I don't see a Buddha in my world. How can a Buddha teach me by example? Just because I don't see one, does that mean they're not here with me?
they can emanate in some form that can help us to cultivate compassion, love, and wisdom.
Exactly.
And this form is an emanation, and our seeds are allowing us to perceive it that way.
Exactly. Exactly. So maybe that person who's apparently having back pain, maybe that's Buddha appearing as a person with back pain, and so they have back pain in order to help me grow my compassion and my wisdom to TongLen them. Does that mean Buddha has back pain sometimes? No, impossible. So who is that guy with the back pain? I know. Is it my friend Lenny or is it Buddha?
Depending your seeds, if you have seeds already to perceive as Buddha or just think maybe this is Buddha.
Right,
So,
good,
yes.
good. So what's so if I go, oh, my friend Lenny, really, he's Buddha, why would I bother to Tonglen? Buddha can't suffer.
But you perceive pain, so you have seeds and you need to do TongLen for future you.
Exactly. And what if, oh, they say you don't Tonglen your Lama because it means you don't believe they're Buddha. But wait, now I'm stuck. I'm seeing my friend Lenny. Really, he's Buddha. Can I Tonglen my friend Lenny manifestation of Buddha and be Tonglening a more powerful karmic object so my Tonglen seeds are stronger?
I'm not sure what is good because you already prove yourself what this is Buddha. So if you will do TongLen, so you already prove what he is not Buddha.
It seems that way, but then why wouldn't that be the same case for if I was giving flowers to my Aunt Mary or flowers to a Buddha? They say giving flowers to a Buddha is more powerful than giving flowers to Aunt Mary. How's that any different than doing Tonglen on my friend manifesting back pain who I've decided is Buddha manifesting as a guy with back pain to give me an opportunity to Tonglen?
Okay, you can give any flowers, you can give something good things, but if you perceive any pain and you already know that this is Buddha, you should do for you maybe this TongLen for take out these seeds. Because if you do TongLen just take out pain from Buddha, it's impossible. You already
You're
prove
right. It's
yourself that this
impossible.
is
There's
not
no
Buddha.
seeds to take away, right? There's no pain to take away. Yeah, good point. Hmm. So why do Tonglen? Yeah, to see ourselves using our breath to take away the pain and seeds for more pain in any circumstance where we see pain and use it to destroy our own misunderstanding of where pain comes from. And then use the freedom from that misunderstanding, which will, just be a glimmer, to use our love, our compassion. Our compassion we already did. We use our love to give that other happiness, any kind of happiness, worldly all the way up to ultimate. Who are we benefiting?
Anyway, if we do it for doesn't matter for whom, we benefit to ourselves.
Right. We benefit ourselves. TongLen is the most selfish thing you could ever do.
Most altruistic because it creates us as being who can help each and every living being.
Right. If we're destroying our seeds to see suffering, aren't we making a world with less suffering? That we see. But to say that implies that there's a world out there beyond the world of my experience. Oh, we're pushing up against a worldview edge here. Does that mean me and my world is the only world that really exists? And you're all just part of it, but ultimately it'll just be me?
No.
No,
Ours
that's not
can
right.
perceive you and can take your example and open their heart and grow, and everyone the same way can take from different person this is the same good example, and what can be better.
Right. So we're all making these pure worlds that it has all these beings in them, right? Who have become beings of pure world. It gets beyond language, but it's like we all our pure worlds overlap just as all our impure worlds overlap now. Right? Our worlds are unique to each of us, including the us. And you are all in mine. And I appear to be in yours. And there, I don't know, like bubbles interacting or however, right? I come back to this because I just love that. Seems to convey the idea. We really are all in this together. And so, yes, it's only my seeds that I'm affecting with TongLen, but I'm doing it for everybody's paradise. If I were TongLening only for myself, I'm not TongLening, right? It won't plant the seeds for bodhicitta. If I'm gonna TongLen so that I can reach nirvana. Or if we're thinking of our Buddhahood, right, in some wrong way, and we're saying, I'm TongLening to reach a Buddha, but we're thinking of our Buddha in this really selfish, like, I'm going to be all blissed out and don't have to do anything after that, right? It's like, no, TongLen's not going to work, right? It's not going to work either way, right? Worldly or ultimately. The reason we TongLen is because we see suffering in others. How does it change the suffering in others? It changes our seeds. So yes, it affects only us, but in life, that's all we ever do is affect our own seeds. So it's like, whoa, our own selfishness is the problem, but in the end, all we ever do is affect our own mind. We're just misunderstanding it so badly. Right? When we can clear away the self-existent me, there's nothing that actually disappears because there was no such thing since forever. There was only the belief in it. Good place to stop. So, remember that person we wanted to be able to help at the beginning of class. We understand better how we are helping them just by being in class. And that's a great, great goodness. So please be happy with yourself. And think of this goodness like a beautiful glowing gemstone that you can hold in your hands. Recall your own precious holy guide See how happy they are with you. Really. Feel your gratitude to them, your reliance upon them. Ask them to please stay close, to continue to guide you, help you, inspire you. And then offer them this gemstone of goodness. See them accept it and bless it. And they carry it with them right back into your heart. See them there, feel them there. Their love, their compassion, their wisdom. It feels so good. We want to keep it forever. And so we know to share it. By the power of the goodness that we've just done, may all beings complete the collection of merit and wisdom, and thus gain the two ultimate bodies that merit and wisdom make. So use those 3 long exhales to share this goodness with that one person, to share it with everyone we love, to share it with every existing being everywhere. See them all filled with this wisdom of loving kindness, shining it forth to everyone in their world, and their world, and their world. And may it be so. May it be so soon. Alrighty, thank you very much. Thanks for helping me with class. Yeah, that was fun.